Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. Some people who desire self-improvement prefer deep dives into a particular technique. Other people prefer quick and dirty. Well, this little talk is for the latter, kind of the world's shortest course in self-improvement. These are what I call 10 self-improvement musts. As I think back on my 5,500 career and personal coaching clients, I believe that these 10 tactics are the most central to self-improvement. First, you got to put the time in. There is no substitute for time on task. Working smarter takes you only so far, and chances are, if you're listening to this on self-improvement or watching, you don't know why you'd want to watch me. It's probably more pleasant to listen and not see my face. I've been told often that I have a good face for radio. In any case, if you're watching or listening to me here, you're probably already working as smart as you can, and yet you still feel the need for significant improvement. Whether it's building on one of your strengths or remediating one of your weaknesses that you really need to work on, your choice is either to push harder or to be satisfied with modest growth. I don't mean to criticize that necessarily. That being satisfied with modest growth is what's called satisficing, and it can be a wise approach. Sometimes your time might be better spent getting better at something else, maybe taking care of necessities or simply having fun. The next of the 10 tactics for self-improvement that my clients have found most helpful is to avoid time sucks. That's what enables people to put the time in without working too many hours. Accomplishers, people who accomplish a lot, avoid such time sucks as excessive TV watching, chatting, clothes shopping when you already got enough clothes, video game playing, time-consuming sports like golf, and going to their second cousin, twice removed third wedding in Kalamazoo. The third tip is focus on what you can control. Successful people spend little time jawboning about their illness, about politics, or about people they can't stand. They focus on what's in their sphere of influence. Next, specialize. In our ever more complicated world, it's ever more difficult to be good enough as a generalist. You need to be at least relatively expert in something. For example, the generic marriage and family therapist is likely to be beset by the imposter syndrome because there's so much science and especially so much art to it. Unless you're unusually brilliant and hardworking, it's wiser to specialize in something. For example, interracial couples, transgender couples, intellectually gifted children, physically abusive parents, men who are in marital difficulty. Next tip, take what I call low-risk actions. Excessive rumination usually leads to more fear and less accomplishment. So after a modest amount of reflection and maybe some research, follow that widely agreed on key to success. Ready, fire, aim. That is, it's far easier to revise your way to excellence than to think it up in the abstract. You need to have the feedback from empiricism in order to adjust what you're doing. I like to use the metaphor of the person who wants to sail from San Francisco to Hawaii. Of course, he or she is going to do some planning and preparation. But if they do too much, they can't anticipate the winds, the change in the weather, etc. You've got to get out and adjust, and that's your most likely route to Hawaii. I'm not saying, however, to take big risks, prematurely at least. I'm urging low-risk actions, then revising, as I just said, trying again, and then only when the odds seem greatly in your favor. And a high-risk action is your only real option. For example, let's say to finally pull the trigger and start that business. That is the time to go for it. Next, hang with people who bring out the best in you. Whether it's a boss, a romantic partner, a platonic friend, or an activity partner, some people bring out the best in us and others drag us down. Of course, you can't always control who's in your life, but where you have discretion, try to spend time with those who help you flower. Next, take the time to find a fine mentor or two. A generous person who is successful and ethical in what you're trying to grow in, or who's an overall winner over in most endeavors, is a treasure, and usually a requisite to your success unless you're an extraordinarily gifted person. How do you find a fine mentor? Start by asking a question of one or more highly respected people. If that person responds, and responds well, offer to be of help in any way that you can. After a while, if you do your part, and you're lucky, your mentor will offer more help, become your cheerleader and your champion there, and be willing to open crucial career doors for you. Next, chart your progress. That can be as simple as, next to your desk, hanging a hand-drawn thermometer with milestones on the side, like at churches when they're trying to raise money. Or give yourself a daily letter grade, maybe on just that objective you're trying to work toward, from A to F. Keep that grade to yourself, or share it with your social media friends or your real friends. Next, look inward. My unsuccessful clients tend to blame their setbacks mostly on externalities, their boss, the economy, their race, their gender, and so on. In contrast, my successful clients mainly look inward to see what, if anything, they need to do differently. For example, acquire a new skill, upgrade their attitude, slow or stop their substance abuse, revise their job target, upward, downward, sideways, or to a career that's more aligned with their natural abilities. And finally, resolve to rebound. You've heard it before, but it's really true. Even highly successful people fail. The difference between them and other people is that the successful ones force themselves, to rebound, not wallow. They see if there's a lesson to be learned from the failure, and then resolve to succeed at something at least as big. At the risk of being personal, when I was let go as a columnist with the San Francisco Chronicle, after an hour, just an hour, of feeling outraged, I was really angry, I channeled that anger. I said, I'm going to show them. I'm going to go national. And that very day, I sent clips to 10 national publications. And since then, I have written a lot for such publications as Time, The Atlantic, and Psychology Today. So, is there at least one of these tips, tactics, whatever you want to call them, that you would like to try? Or maybe just do more of? You may already be doing it. In any case, I welcome, as usual, your thumbs up or thumbs down if you feel appropriate. You're sharing it on social media. You're subscribing to my channel. And in any event, I certainly appreciate you watching. I am Marty Nemko.